are live tonight here. Tonight we have a Dan Ostroff with MakeMerch.com. He is, the owner developer. I will let him introduce himself briefly, to the people that doesn't know him. I mean, I know a lot of people, know you. You are quite live a lot of times with Chris Green on the Emerge by Amazon group, and a lot of people use your tool. I mean, and I will let you introduce all about your tool. Today we're going to be talking about Make Merch, about having easy designs that sell. I mean, I use Make Merch. I'm also an admin on Dan's group, and I have the experience of using it for my account, for my wife's account, and I know that I can create very easy designs in no time. And that tool just keeps getting better every day. He keeps adding so many new fonts, so many new graphics, and new templates to use, so that it looks like more and more professional looking designs as time goes by. And it's one of my favorite tools to use. And right now being on Q4, getting ready for the season, I thought it's a good idea to bring Dan to the show and tell us a little bit more about his tool. If you don't mind, Dan, could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Fernando. Great to be here. Great to talk to you. Very interested in getting questions as we go through. Basically, it can be a question and answer session. Make Merch has been running for several months now. We're constantly updating it. We're constantly listening to what users are asking us for. We've got a long way to go. We still call it a beta, because every time we're adding new features, and there's risk when you add new features. We're doing a lot of things that challenge the browser. So HTML5 browsers, you'll find that a lot of the browsers are running on weaker computers sometimes, and they need memory. What we're doing is lots and lots of layers of graphic. And that's what enables us to do some of those really fancy effects that you see pretty much only on Make Merch, or much easier to do on Make Merch than anywhere else. So you take a picture, you can choose. We just added the search feature. You can search for any keyword, find lots of different images that are there. Add filters. We're constantly adding new filters, so every image can be different. We're adding lots of text effects. We're perfecting the outline, the stroke effect on the text. We're perfecting the curved text. And really, it's about listening to what our consumers and customers are asking us for. We know that most people are using this for Merch by Amazon, but thanks to Fernando, there are a lot of people who have expanded beyond Merch by Amazon to other print-on-demand platforms. And so we're learning a little bit of those requirements as well. But I think what really makes Make Merch unique is that you can comfortably come to the website, take an image that the copyright is legal for Merch by Amazon. And if it works for Merch by Amazon, it'll probably work for the other platforms as well, because they're all more strict than others. And you'll find an image there that looks good. And you'll add text, and people are using Make Merch to create designs within minutes. Some people take much longer. They put more effort into it. And really, when you're using Make Merch, you're concentrating on the design. For a lot of users, even Photoshop users, Illustrator users, you're concentrating on the tool. So, how do I do this? How do I add that effect? How do I center my text? A lot of questions you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis when using those platforms. Whereas with Make Merch, you come there and you're really concentrating only on the design. How do I position my text? What colors do I use? What sizes do I use? And that just enables a lot of users to work really, really quickly. The other thing that we're seeing that's really interesting is how people are using it to scale designs. And maybe we can touch on that a bit as well.
Yeah, I mean, and it's right. When you use Photoshop, I use Photoshop and I use Illustrator, I'm always thinking about, okay, what effect I'm going to use, how many layers I'm going to create. If I'm going to be using, this effect, or I'm going to be using this font or stuff like that. And I'm always thinking about, combining, and, I'm going to use in there, or I'm going to combine my layers, and how I'm going to be using, to stay inside the canvas, and how I'm going to fix it. When we go to make merge, all of those things are already, figured out for us. We only have to go and say, okay, these are the fonts. I only scroll down to the fonts. These are the effects. You just click on the effect, and the effect is automatically applied. I don't have to care about layers. I don't have to care about any other buttons, controls, or any other combinations. If you are a Photoshop Illustrator user, you know that they're very memory heavy for your computers. You have to have a very strong computer. It's not much of a difference. I mean, I know a lot of people struggle a little bit with make merge when it comes to the heavy graphics, and I know you're working on something to fix that in the process, and we will talk more about that. But it can get really complicated when you are using tools to create some basic design that you can create and make merge just by clicking three buttons and doing exactly the same thing. The templates are getting more and more efficient as you keep adding them, and at the same time, they have more space for more text and more illustration. Which you look at the early ones, there was used like what 2-3 lines for text, and use one illustration, and sometimes illustration was very difficult to shrink, so the space was limited for the text. Now you're giving us options for where we can reduce the images, so you're right. We can focus on the design instead of worrying about, okay, what I'm going to do here with all these controls and commands that we use in Photoshop and Illustrator. What drove you to create Make Merge?
Yeah, so actually, the company behind Make Merch is called Dugma, and what Dugma has done over the years, I founded the company a few years back. We're in the e-commerce field. Our clients sell products that can be customized and personalized. So we've got a huge experience in providing web-based design solutions, and most of those are used by larger e-commerce websites where they want to give that experience with user designs their own product. So we've got clients selling everything from sports uniforms to shoes to jewelry to furniture, even custom caskets, you name it. Those products that can be customized and sold online, where the user is part of that design process. And exactly a year ago, I listened to Chris Green talking about merch by Amazon. I happened to be there by chance at one of those at a reseller conference here in Chicago, and happened to hear Chris Green talking about merch, and he said there's so much opportunity. And one of the ideas that he gave is, people need graphics where they don't need to worry about the royalties, they don't need to worry about the copyright, and so there's money just in taking a package of graphics and selling that to merch designers. And I said, well, we've got a software that can do that in a much more effective way. And Chris and I got together and we worked out, what would be the main features that users would like. And based on that, we put together the platform. It's actually quite easy for us because we're a technology company, we're a software company. So it's easy for us to do those things. And we're a user experience company. So it's all about the user experience at the end of the day. We've got a lot of experience about how to build a user experience within a web page, as opposed to creating software from scratch, how you do that in a web page. And we've just learned that some things work and some things don't work. And we've tried to apply all of that to Make Merch. We do track how people are using it. We get feedback, and we try to improve all the time.
Yeah. And it's starting to look very, 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 very nice. I mean, when I first started using it, it was about 4 months ago, 5 months ago, and I mean, it just keeps on improving. You guys are adding art, as you called it, about every week and a half to 2 weeks now. I mean, it's coming more often. I mean, I know because I look at the control panel where the people ask the questions. You take feedback seriously, and everything that you ask and you're being asked, I see it being executed. So I don't usually like to talk flowers about a product, unless I really believe in the product. But I see in the background all the questions, uh, all the requests for implementation that you are asked, and I know that that it gets implemented. So you can tell that you're a company that really cares about the customers, and you really like to put that out there. What they need for them to be more successful. Because when you have 20, 30 customers, yeah, we having 300 pieces of art, it's enough for everybody. But as the platform grows, you want to have more variety, and you keep supplying that variety. I mean, but we don't get floated, on Amazon, especially since people have daily uploads of to 80 pieces a day. I mean, going through all your art, they can consume that pretty fast, and it can start creating conflicts of people duplicating. But I see that it's not an issue because you keep adding different templates, you keep adding different art, and new font is coming. So the opportunity to have designs for years to come, it's there. I mean, you even added search engine inside the Make Merch to be able to find your art more efficiently and faster. I remember when I tested it, it was glitchy, and now it's very very nice. You can find art rather quickly. What else is coming?
Yeah, so we're continuously investing in the platform and creating new things, and the challenge is pricing. So we so much appreciate the early users of Make Merch who came on at our introductory rate, and every time we add new features and new subscriptions, we say, okay, should we charge more for the subscription or not? And till now and I'd like to continue this as much as possible. Users who came in at the lower rates are very, very lucky that we're giving them all the features. So even if we do new features, people who came in at the early rates are still keeping within, still get access to all the features that we've launched till now. And that's going to be true for a lot of the features going forward that I'm about to discuss. So we're going to have a number of pricing plans pretty soon. So a variety of basic, advanced, and pro. And most of the users who are on now are going to get the most advanced package. Maybe there'll be some features there that are premium features that you do have to pay for, but most of it is going to be available for anybody who's already grandfathered or grandmothered into the original rates. So and for each of those rates, we're going to have a monthly and an annual option. So Lena is our creative director, and so she's the one responsible for giving us for making sure that graphics come out regularly. She's creating the templates, and unlike me, I'm aesthetically challenged. Lena is the genius behind how things look and how things work. And so basically we created a platform that even I can design on. That's pretty much, you create something that solves your own problems. So I could not design before Make Merch, pretty much. That's why Lena's done such a great job. So the feature's coming. She's got some advanced templates coming. What is an advanced template? You're going to be able to, on one of the advanced templates, you're going to be able to upload up to 6 images. You'll be able to very easily add more lines. With each of those 6 images that you upload, you can shrink them, you can enlarge them. The text, you can rotate the text. Recently, recently we've started working on that you can control the stroke thickness, and sometimes we change things. We don't always announce it, but we've changed the way that the stroke works. So till now it was an inline and outline, and that kind of became distorted as you made the font more thick, or the border, the stroke more thick. Now it's only an outline. So as you start playing now with the templates and you play with the stroke thickness, you'll see that it gives a much better effect. Hopefully we'll have, so that is the one new advanced template. The second advanced template is very, very similar, but it's for existing graphics. So it's got all the search features in there. It's still only got one graphic that we provide, but advanced users, we've been seeing this all the time, advanced users are downloading the image and re-uploading it to make merch. It's quite a heavy process on our servers, so every image that is uploaded is costly for us, and the numbers are getting quite big, so we need to manage that carefully. But on the regular advanced template, where you use the regular images, you'll still have all those features, some new filters coming out, some new effects coming out, and then a whole lot more things on the way. We're testing a few ideas. We're thinking of doing exclusive images. So where someone can order an image, specify what they want the image to look like, and the Make Merch team will create that, and that'll be integrated into Make Merch, but only you can use it. So if you order an exclusive image from us, you'll be able to use it with all the filters, with all the effects, with everything, just like a regular Make Merch image, but it'll be only yours.
That's huge.
So, yeah. So that's a nice feature we're working on. We've got ideas. We're looking for partners. I published an idea in Facebook, in our Facebook user group yesterday. If we could get some brands, even smaller brands or art owners, to give us rights, we're very happy to work with those owners in terms of moderation. So we'd create the moderation platform that would enable them to say, yes, this design is okay for merch by Amazon or for other pods, and get those approved. So there's a lot that could be done. So anybody who's watching this who has a relationship with a brand, I'd like to talk to that brand, because we can do something really, really powerful for them, promoting brands. And there's more. Continue asking questions, and I'll be reminded of more things that are in the works, and we'd like to do it. We'd like to get opinion on.
Here's one question for you. Any plans that the text and graphics can have the overlays instead of use the graphics?
Yes. That's another thing that we're working on. Might take a bit longer, but we're going to do some really cool text effects, which means that you'll be able to apply filters, textures, and hopefully transparency to parts of the text. So to use cutout text on images and things.
I have seen this question a couple of times already on the groups, where people ask if you will be able to use the art that the Make Merch provide in combination with an art that that users upload in the same design. Is that coming, or is you still gonna have a template only for art, Make Merch art only, and upload only?
That's actually an idea. We haven't considered that. Lena, when you watch that, maybe consider creating a template like that. We'll call it the Fernando template. Art and uploading.
I actually have seen it, on the group, like where people say, "Hey, I would like to use this, this rainbow, but I would like to add one of my birds to the rainbow, and just to combine them." And I thought it was a great idea. But I don't know nothing about coding. I don't know nothing about anything like that. I'm a business guy, so computers back, I don't know if that's even possible to do. So that's what I am asking here, because I seen that question a couple of times, and I went there, But another one that I've seen is, are they going to be able to upload their own fonts?
So the way that'll work, that's another feature that we're working on, is you want to upload your font. Your font will be installed in your computer, but you'll be able to use the font from your computer. Of course, then it's up to you to make sure that the licensing of your font is okay for use on Amazon. but you'll be able to use fonts directly from your computer. It's not as friendly a user experience as I would like it to be, because it won't be a drop-down where you can choose fonts. You'll have to know the font name. So once you've installed the font on your computer, you'll be able to type in the name and use the font.
Yeah, but there are programs that you can use to see your fonts beforehand. So I mean, yeah, I mean usually when somebody has a font they want to use for a specific design, it's usually because they have something in mind that they want to use. In most cases, right? Um, but yeah, that will help a lot because it can create also the whole situation where my designs, even if I use the art and it's in the make merch, by having a whole different font, I can create a whole different design that nobody else is going to do because it's it's a font from my private collection. I mean, and they're as me they're obsessed with fonts. I mean, last time I checked, I had at least 1,000 fonts, and I know people that have a lot more than that. Actually, need to erase fonts because they are beginning to make my Photoshop slow. But yeah, that's one of the things that I see quite often. People ask, fonts. Are you going to be able to use more fonts? You already said that we're going to have a template that is going to have up to 6 image uploads, is what you said?
That's right.
So now, how is that going to work? That could be very heavy and on your browser, won't it?
It's heavy on the browser. Again, we put the minimum requirements out there. Some of the templates we're going to be calling light templates. Most things work pretty well within the web resolution. It's when we're creating the high resolution image, the image for merch, that's where we're seeing that a lot of the browsers just aren't handling that. We're working on a big solution for that. So right now that's being done inside the browser. You click download image and there's the process. It reloads the image in high resolution. It creates it again with all the layers. And that's what's taking time and resources on your computer before it actually downloads. So that's what's happening within your computer. What we're looking at doing, and like everything, it's development, it takes time, it's costly, but what we're trying to do is that all of that will be done on the servers. So that'll be done on our server, and you'll just be downloading the final image. So we won't be using your computer's resources, we'll be using the server resources. So that's quite a different technology, it's a different approach, but it'll be pretty good for the users, and hopefully a lot of those issues of working on weaker computers will just go away.
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of people lately actually has been an increase. I don't know why, but I've seen an increase on people saying that their download is coming using a black image. It's blank. Usually I tell people that use refresh your cache in their Chrome. What do you suggest people to do? I mean, what do you think is the problem? I mean, is that because the computer is doesn't have the memory? Is because of the Chrome extension it needs to be refreshed? What is the easy here for people?
There are two kinds of issues. Cache issues usually relate to software changes on our side, or any change that we make to the software doesn't really take effect until you clear the cache on your computer. So your computer is keeping some old versions of the software, and sometimes those versions are mixed. So that's why, if there's a new feature, something that we changed slightly, that's why clearing your cache often helps, because we're constantly updating the software. So it's kind of it's like downloading the last version of the software is clearing that's what clearing your cache is really doing. But what we are finding, particularly with Chrome, and it's sometimes other extensions, it's sometimes just some kind of overload that happens on Chrome, is sometimes the only thing that solves it is to uninstall Chrome and reinstall Chrome. And that's actually got nothing to do with our system. The other checks that you can run that you'll see that they won't work as well as soon as you start doing heavy things. Somewhere the browser is running out of memory. There's some conflicts. Sometimes that's with extensions, but sometimes that's just, Chrome's getting tired. and you uninstall it and reinstall it, and that works. But that's why kind of the troubleshooting always says, try it in Chrome. If that doesn't work, try it in Firefox. And very often the user will see, okay, it works in Firefox. That's when you see that it's working in Firefox but not in Chrome, and you've cleared your cache in Chrome and that hasn't helped, that's the time to uninstall and reinstall Chrome.
That's a good tip. I haven't had that issue, but I mean, my computer is it's huge. I mean, it's actually for design purposes. So it's I have plenty of memory, but I know a lot of people have their the personal computers were not bought for this for computer design in mind. They were just done for online browsing and in the daily activities that anybody you would do in a computer, like pay bills and stuff like that. So when you get computers, I mean when you work on Photoshop, every single thing that you do is a layer that you add, and it can get very, very heavy as well. Same thing here, in Merge, every time you add something, you're making the file a little bigger and, making it heavier. So, I mean, you need the resources in your browser. It needs to be clean. And we need to do that. Now, another issue that I see a lot of people is they lose their design. We know that we need to remind people that always log in, clicking the button, remember me, correct? And so that way they don't log out and they don't lose their design. Is there any other way to not lose their design?
Yeah, so you have to make sure that you're logged in. And the way to know if you logged in or logged out, I think, I'm always logged in and the remember me is always clicked there. But if your screen doesn't say log out, then you're probably not logged in. So that's one tip there. And clicking on save your design. Some users still don't know how to use the save design correctly. It's save URL link or save design URL to clipboard. Basically, that's only copying the URL of your design. It's creating a new URL with your design, and it is putting that in the clipboard. You still need to paste that somewhere. So I like keep.google.com. So it's a Google service where you can just write notes. I like to paste each of my links there. Some people do it in a spreadsheet and they can sort it and use it for coming back to designs later on, particularly for scaling. You build 20 designs, one design succeeds. Now you want to go and scale that design. It's great to be able to go back, click on it, and then try it with a different font, try it with a different color, or change or scale it like Michael Essany says. Just put a different sport in there, a different relationship, a different person.
Let me share my screen. Let me get us out of the screen. Let me share my screen and let's show people how you can actually save that design and save it on a Google Doc and how you can keep track of your designs. If you don't mind, let's do that, right?
Great.
Okay, I'm gonna right now show my screen. We're gonna go solo, and I'm gonna take everybody to make merge. Actually, what I'm gonna do right now is gonna take you to my Google Doc. And for example, here I have saved 2 designs. If I open this design, right now it's gonna open me a design that I saved previously. And this is gonna load.
No, you shouldn't really be using that template anymore.
Oh yeah, that's template old.
Yeah.
But I'm using the one I already had saved.
Right. So you'll find the template is also much faster.
I'm sorry?
We're not loading in.
Oh yeah. So, but what I see is that I had already saved this template on my Google Doc. So if I create any design that I create in Make Merge, I can just click here in my Google Doc and it will take me here. And for example, I can just say here, I can add here again, hello again. And if I go to the bottom and I go to save design link to clipboard, and click here when it finished loading that stuff. And I take these to my document, do the Control B, you see my URL completely changed now. The other one was 0040, and now this is 9321. It's recording my changes in the save, and I can do that to every single design that I make on Make Merge. So if, for example, I want to create a design that I want to scale, I just have to, like for example, hello again, this is a test. I can just say, okay, now I want a bread. And I'll change it, and I'll save it, and I have a whole different design. And I can just say here, save click to clipboard. I come here, I click B, and you see now I have a whole different URL. Every single design that I make on Make Merge can be saved on a doc. And and I can come back later on. This design, I actually made it about a month ago when I did a live teaching people how to do this on the Make Merge group. And you see they are still saved. So if you actually name them, create a column in your document, here saying design name, and you can just name them, and and then you create a directory of every single one you have, and later on you want to say, hey, this design I would like to make use a change, or what, they added new images or new pieces of art to this specific, and I want to replace it. You just go and replace it just the way I did. You see, I had a baseball, now I have these, and now I can say, you know what, I want to add some effect to it, and it's going to apply, and now I can save link to clipboard, tap it, and I have a new URL, and now I have a whole different design to save, and I can come back to it whenever I want to. Is there any other way to do it?
That's great.
That's great.
And that is actually the most simple way to scale. Is you save your design, you track what is selling, what isn't selling, and then as soon as something is selling, you created that design, it looks great on a dark shirt because it's a light design. You see that it starts selling. The immediate thing you should do is go back now, just change the colors of your design, add a filter, change the colors of the text, so now that it's a dark design, and you can sell it on light shirts.
Yeah, I mean, you can scale it. You can change the background. You can do an outlay, just to give it a border, like a black border, and it will look now in light shirts. I mean, it's so simple to have one design to say, I want this design to work in dark colors and in light colors. Yeah, and you can just save both of them. And, and then later on when you upload it, you're like, okay, this shirt is selling. Let me now create a same type of design, but now with an effect. And now you have 3 designs, with the same, with the same keyword, same title, with same everything. It's very easy to scale using Make Merge. I mean, and it's something that I really like. And this what I tell to all people. I create my design like, let's open. Let's actually open one more. Let's go to Make Merge. Which one should we use? The search out by keyword.
Yeah. Use the first template. It's the most powerful template right now.
Okay. What should we do? Firefighters? We have firefighters here? No, let's do snowman. Let's do snowman.
Make a ski shirt.
Eh?
I love skiing.
The skin?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not with a Y, right? It's with a double Y.
SKI should be enough.
There we go. Okay, now we click with that here. We got it. And let's make it a little smaller. No, this one here. Okay.
How about see you on the slopes?
What's that?
See you on the slope.
That. And We can make it a little smaller. The letters, we can make it bigger. Both of them, we can make them bigger if we want to. What do we got here? Let's add some vintage effects. How's this look? Okay, first of all, let's change the what color shall we use? What color we want to use it?
Try and use the same. Try and use the same colors from the design, from the image.
Yeah, let's go red.
Oranges and yellows.
And let's do the outline blue and yellow just to show the example. And yeah, that's
Fernando?
What's that?
Can you play with the stroke size? The thickness of the outline?
Yes.
Have you done that? No, go up a little bit. It's the new buttons. Just above the text. You probably haven't done this yet. Go a bit higher.
Oh.
There. Yeah.
I hadn't seen that one before. I just learned something new today. See? And I was going to teach somebody.
Click on it a few times, make it thicker.
Oh, wow. Okay, we're learning something today. Now we need to put this one into up because it's too much in the bottom. So we can move it. You see how the slope is moving up? So we don't have it at the very end. And I want to change the effect a little bit because that's too heavy. Yeah, that's way too heavy too. Why is this thing not showing me enough? No, this one. Nope, that's too heavy. No, seems like the original one was the best one for that one. So, and here at the bottom you have all the shirts, that you can use. I mean, you see, it looks good in dark. But for example, if we go, if we want to use a white shirt, it doesn't look that great, with the outline. So what we do is say, okay, here we can change it to black. And now I have a shirt that works well in light colors, and every one of them, I can just save the design and take it back to the clipboard. I didn't save it. And I have it there, so what else have you added here? I know that you added something else. So you can change the circle.
Right, you can change the radius.
Yeah. You can move it around. I mean, it's a lot that can be done with this tool, and you can move the art around if you want to. Like for example, I can move it more to the top or move it more to the more to the bottom, make it a huge one. But I mean, it's, and if you want to use the grid, so that everything is centered, you can use it. This doesn't save the PNG, and just what you do is just click download image, and it's gonna do a transparent PNG 4500 by 5400 that you can use on your on your merch by Amazon. I mean, it's very user friendly, to be honest. I mean, it's one of those tools that, I mean, how long did it really take me? If I wasn't talking and I wasn't really playing around with what I was doing, I could have done that design in 2-3 minutes.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, it's when you have 20 uploads to make a day, or even 10 uploads a day, you can get your designs out of the way in less than 30 minutes. You already did your research, you already know what you want to do, and you are familiar with the tool and you know where to find everything. You can make them, like that, and be done with your day. And what I do, in Make Merch, is that I usually create, designs like, say, I am an awesome because I'm an engineer, for example, and I have a list of the professions that I like to use. So if then I go change, and I change for a doctor, for a nurse. I'm an awesome because I am a policeman, because I'm a fireman, because I'm a teacher. I can just create one good text-based design, make it look nice, give it some, and then use the last word, just replace it by another word, just by simply typing, and in a matter, I can probably take about 10 minutes to create a very consciously made text-based design, and then in a matter of seconds, I can just create the variations of that design, and I can have 10, 20, 30 designs if I want to, even 100 if I want to, but of course I don't want to have that many. But when I have, 40 designs to make a day or 50, and my designers only bring me 20, 30, I need to complete my daily uploads. Is when I use Make Merch. In my case, I just go and finish, what I need to do, and it adds a lot of value to me. And at $30 a month, you make one, two designs. It could be expensive, but you make 30, 40, that's $1 a design or cheaper. So that is absolutely nothing. The potential return on investment is huge. Um, you were going to say
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, so just Len and I did some research the other day again. We went through Merch Informer. Hey, Luke. Um, we went through Merch Informer and we looked at all the designs that are doing well, all the merch designs that are doing well. And we said, which of these could have been created by Make Merch? Some were created by Make Merch, but we tried to identify, are there designs that couldn't be created by Make Merch? Was there any design up there that's doing really well, that is so advanced that you could only create it using Photoshop or Illustrator? And we didn't find any. Most of the designs that are selling well are simple. People like simple designs a lot of the time. Convey a message. Buy a T-shirt because it's conveying a message. So either you like the art, or you like the look and feel, or you like what it says, or you identify with what it represents. And those can be created really easily and nicely when you're concentrating on the art, the text, and how everything fits together. And really, you saw that we're running this contest on Make Merch user group at the moment for $100 gift cards, just to get people excited about creating templates, and how varied the templates can be. And Lena's also going to be creating a few templates, inspirational templates. There's just so much that can be done if you're a little bit creative with how you use Make Merch. We've got those wingding fonts with lots of images. You've got birds in there, you've got guns, you've got all sorts of things in the font itself. And with that, you can position it any way you want. Look at some of those Legends Are Born In t-shirts that do so well. It's just a text t-shirt with a creative line somewhere down the middle. Those kind of things you can do really nicely as well and Make Merch.
Oh yeah.
And those are the kinds of things that we're seeing coming up also, hopefully in the contest that we're running. We're trying to make it fun as well.
For you people that don't know, there is a group, a Facebook group for the Make Merch. You don't have to be, a user. The whole purpose of this group is for you to understand what Make Merch, and hopefully you become a user. But Dan is running right now a contest. That whoever runs designs something with Merch, and the winner is gonna get a $100 gift card, right, for Amazon, right, on November 31st.
That's right.
And there's a couple more prizes that are gonna be dropped, in between, if I'm not mistaken. And there's already people submitting them. You are invited to participate. $100. It will be nice for Christmas, to spend on some gifts. We're gonna be throwing I know I'm going to be throwing a prize in right in the middle. I'm not going to say yet what it is, but we're motivated to see what people can do, with Make Merch. Of course, we don't expect you to put in the contest a shirt that you already have live. That will be, probably not very smart, but we want you to create something original and something that is, catchy. We want you to show us the full potential of this tool on that contest, and we are challenging everybody to bring their best. What else do you want to add, Dan?
I don't know. I saw that there was a question from Luke about multiple image upload. So I think we're going to have to send him to watch the rerun of this. He came in late.
Yes, Luke. We already covered it, and I'm just gonna do it very, very, very briefly. Yes, there's coming a template for up to 6 images. I really suggest you go at the beginning, probably around the minute 20, and you will be surprised of all the things that Dan and Dogma and Merch are bringing in the future of Make Merch. There's a bunch of different new tools, but yeah, we already covered that.
Are there any other questions there?
Yeah, there is one more from Jason Jackson. Any plans for Make Merch to be compatible with Apple iOS?
Hopefully, when we do the new version where we do the high-res image on the server side, then hopefully that'll work with iOS as well. No guarantees, but we'll do our best.
I guess he's probably asking if this is going to be an iPhone or an iPad app, which will be nice.
It won't be an app, but it should work nicely on iPads. It should improve dramatically the use on iPads. There's some issues with the iPhone when it comes to downloading an image. You'll certainly be able to use the iPhone for designing, but the user experience is just not there. It's not optimized for phones, but certainly for tablets, we want to get it right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't use my tablet for design. I know a lot of people use them, and I know a lot of people find them very convenient. I'm a PC type of guy. I prefer to do it in my computer. I like to see things big. I get lost in my iPhone. I try to use all those Uber app and all the other apps that Chris Green likes to talk about, and I just couldn't do it. And I know there's people that cannot live without them, but I really like make Merch on my PC. Besides this one, I only have a designer, and then I have Photoshop, Illustrator whenever I want to go. When I want to get my life complicated, let's put it that way. Or when I want to design, or when I make a drawing that I want to use, for a template. You guys have any other questions that we would like to, ask Dan or myself before we go? Shoot them now, or if not, you can put them on the group, and we will definitely answer them.
Fernando, I have a question for you. So, yeah. As Mr. POD, who works with lots of other print-on-demand platforms, are there any that offer a API for upload? What I'm thinking is, imagine if you could come to Make Merch and hit a button that said upload directly to one of the other PODs, for example.
There is, for example, Etsy. Etsy has an integration that you can actually do. You can actually integrate with Etsy. You could integrate with any Shopify store, for example. I know eBay has an integration. Amazon, of course, has an integration. You can do through API, through them. Amazon is a lot more complicated because of the parent-child, relationship with the ASINs. It creates a big problematic when it comes to the software. That's why not many companies offer the integration to Amazon when it comes to print on demand. But yes, there are.
No, I'm thinking a different route. I'm thinking that if we could let people upload designs directly from Make Merch, on Amazon we can't do that right now. On Merch by Amazon we've got no API.
Yeah, there's no.
If Miguel, if you ever see this, we'd love an API so that we can, instead of saying download image and upload image. Sorry?
I think that there's some that have. I need to check. I know Sasso used to have it. I know Cafe Press used to have it. I don't know if they still do. Where you can just create, you can just create a big file and you can just upload, and it will create the listings for you. With your design and all your keywords and stuff like that. I know they used to have it, but I haven't checked. I know Etsy has it. You can create, you can mass upload. You can create your designs and mass upload them.
Yeah, but Etsy doesn't do fulfillment for you.
No, and in that way, Etsy wouldn't do fulfillment for you. You will have to do the fulfillment yourself. So that's not going to help. That's why people use the Printful integration. Um, so yeah, I mean, I can check. I can check if there are some that still do it. I know Cafe Press and Sasso used to do it, and that they had an API integration. I think Sunfrog still do. Uh, Let me see.
But imagine how amazing that would be if you could come in to make merch, create a design, and hit upload, and that's all you had to do. You didn't have to download the image and then upload it again. That's where I'd like to really go, is make things super easy for users, where you're creating the image within Make Merch and you upload it directly to the POD platform directly. And if we could do that with Merch, it would be great. But if not, we need to do it with some of the other platforms.
That would be great because it will save so much time on uploading designs, especially on those print-on-demand platforms where you have to create so many listings. If that would be in a way that you could just do a mass upload and then have 100 listings created for you, that would be phenomenal. And I honestly hadn't thought about that then but I'm gonna search. I'm gonna search, and I'm gonna actually make a note about that. Search API.
Now, the great thing for the platform is the images we use are already moderated, so it would save the platform a huge cost in moderation, because they don't need to check the images, that the images have profanity in them, that the images are trademarked. We do all of that, and we could do that on the image where you can't upload your image. And then all they would need to do is check the text of the design, and we could give that to them as text. So there's a whole lot of things that we could do if one of the PODs want to work with us. We could really make that process much, much smoother and save them on moderation costs.
Yeah, most pods don't really check, honestly. The only one that really cares probably Redbubble on some extent. Fanprint is the only one that really checks it because they're licensed. And probably you can actually talk to these guys. I can actually give you the contact information from the owner, because they are licensed products. Everything has to be licensed, and actually that could actually be a good relationship with you two guys there, because they have to follow specific guidelines for a specific license. Like for example, if they were talking about a sports team, of the NCAA, they have specific colors that every shirt has to be done with, and they have to be the colors of the team, or the approved colors by the university. So they check every single design to make sure that it follows to the guidelines that are in the rules. Like, so that is one that cares. You go to the websites like TeePublic or all these other ones. It's a copyright infringement charade. It's nobody it's the Wild West in some of those spots, and they don't really care in my experience. And there's some like the Sassos and Cafe Press that are more old school, that where new people that are like me in the industry really don't care about those anymore, because whoever is making sales there now has thousands over thousands of different designs because they have been there for many years. So when we go there, they have the market. It's very difficult to compete. The margins are very small now because those companies now know that that they have thousands of designs. That they don't care if you come in with a new design, so they lower the margins. So it's not very inviting for new people. Yes, Valor. Yeah, Valor saying. Actually, Valor, Dan was asking if you know anybody with a license that would like to partner with Make Merch, to have their product. Anybody? Feel free to talk to Dan about it. It's one of the deals that he's put in the table that he would like to explore a little more. And I think that would be a great idea, the licensing.
Yeah, so wherever I look, I see opportunity. Things are happening. We all need to up our game a little bit in terms of, creating new things, new ideas, things like working with licensed brands, even smaller brands could be really, really powerful. Sometimes the brand just wants to get their brand out there. They want to make sure that it's moderated. They want to make sure that it's controlled, but they don't even need the royalties. And what they want to make sure that their brand is getting out. And what better way to do that than use, thousands of merch designers integrating it into the shirts, as long as they've got the right solutions for some kind of control, and either by agreement or by physically moderating. So there's a whole lot of directions we can take this. I'm really excited that merch is starting to add more products. So we've got the long sleeve tees, we've got the hoodies coming, and looking forward to next year. I'm guessing that a lot of the production problems are going to go away, a lot less throttling. Hopefully people will tear up quicker and get more uploads. So it's only going to grow.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think all these production issues would have been solved if they would have opened that factory they were going to open, in the meat. What was that in Missouri? I think was when we opened that they couldn't open. It was like a bunch of machines that they couldn't install. But next year is going to be a whole different year, and hopefully we'll have a lot more different products to add. But yes, going back to the licensing, you imagine one of these guys, one of these YouTubers that came, with a dumb phrase, or like this girl in that show that they didn't catch me outside, and they have a license agreement with Make Merch where now 1,000 users can make shirts with that phrase without having copyright infringement issues. This woman can get her popularity, at a whole different level without even having to design one shirt. And we can all, make money, and she can get a small royalty out of it. I mean, it will be amazing. It will be, one of those deals that it could benefit, the person saying the dumb phrase and us making money out of that dumb phrase without even having to infringe on any other law. Pennsylvania, there you go. I knew it was somewhere around there. I'm very bad with maps. I'm in Texas. I'm in the center of the universe right now. Sorry. And I was born in Illinois.
So when are you coming back to Illinois?
Not soon. It's too cold. I left for a reason.
I'm with you. I've been here for 2 years, and I've been told that the 2 winters that we've had have been very mild. So
yeah,
they tell me that it gets worse.
Yeah, I left when I was 5 years old. My father was developing an asthma because of all the dryness, and
Right.
they told him that he wasn't very good for him. His hands were always getting like cuts, because he was getting too dry as his skin, and it wasn't very good. And also we used to have a warehouse in South. You're in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
We have a warehouse in the saltwater market, in where the produce market is, and we had to live close by there because, the traffic, and that wasn't a very good neighborhood, So my father said, you know what, let's get out of here. So we moved to McAllen, Texas. That's what I have this accent. McAllen, Texas is pretty much Mexico. You don't speak English there at all. It's one of those cities that, it happens to be in the United States, but it's by mistake.
So I think you and I have to thank everybody who's been watching this.
Yes.
Because they've been putting up with your accent and my accent.
Imagine that. Imagine that. Poor guys. Also from Chicago, Teresa. That's nice. I went there 2 years ago. Last time I went to White Castle and Bonanza. All restaurants that I care about only myself. But anyways, any other thing, guys, you want to ask before you go? I mean, we're going on an hour now, and if you have questions, we will keep going. But if not, we already covered what we wanted to cover. Any last comments you want to say, Dan?
Hey, Jason, I'll buy you a meal. Come for lunch.
There you go. 60 miles from Chicago. Harpo. Okay, my man. I guess we'll wrap it
Thank you,
here.
everybody.
And I want to thank Dan for being here today. I mean, this is informative. You have never used Make Merch. It's a very basic tool to use, and you can get very good designs out of it. You don't really have to be a designer to be able to have it, to use it. Everything is pretty much done for you. You just have to use a little bit of imagination, do some research, get the right designs, and and plug them and create a good end product. Dan, I want to thank you, and guys, I'll see you in the groups. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. Good luck, everybody. Q4. Good luck. Bye.